Hey everyone, FollowMid here, showcasing an old build of mine that includes some interesting and rare non-workshop items that I thought deserved a video of its own. This was done on an old survival character with no mods or Creation Club add-ons. For this build, I used a lot of pre-existing assets at Red Rocket, like the dolly, some wooden crates, pylons, and cardboard boxes just to add some uniqueness to the build, since you can't find these items in the vanilla workshop. Some of these non-workshop items can't be moved, so I had to work around the ones I chose to keep. I did find additional ones that can actually be picked up and moved around at Sanctuary Hills, but you can find them just about anywhere in the Commonwealth. Most settlements come with some of these pre-existing assets, and it's one of the reasons why you should never fully scrap your settlements, and materials are so easy to come by anyway. As I scavenged for these items, I did come across a few interesting ones worth mentioning. The first one being this red engine. I haven't seen anyone use these for vanilla builds, let alone talk about them. It's by far one of the most bizarre objects I've found. You don't often come across these in the game, but the most accessible one is just floating under the bridge in Sanctuary Hills. It's bulky and super erratic when you pick it up. It can push you and actually cause a little bit of damage to your health. You can even angle it to launch you up in the air, which is kinda ridiculous. So just something to keep in mind if you wanna add it to your builds. I did have to reload my save a couple of times just because it kept knocking things off my shelves. It does take some patience to drag it around, but if you angle it in such a way that you can just let it push you to your destination in a matter of minutes. Another unconventional item I used for this build were cars. I dropped a weapon, grabbed it with E, and pushed them back to my Red Rocket settlement. My idea was to turn this into a junkyard, but I sadly scrapped off some pre-existing cars with this character some time ago. And unfortunately, after I spent a good 15 minutes pushing this car from Concord, it despawned as soon as I slept to save the game. I tried it again with a nearby car in Sanctuary Hills, and this one surprisingly stayed in place even after I saved. I assume this only works when the cars are in the same loading zone. So just beware if you're trying to do something like this, and try not to die when you're handling these. The last rare item I tried incorporating was the Buttercup toy parts. You can get this one from the Wilson Atomatoys factory south of Boston. It's in one of the locked doors inside the factory. It can be easily overlooked, especially if you're like me and don't pay attention to what you're grabbing. It gets completely glitched when I drop it every time, and I have no idea why it does this. It freezes the second it leaves my inventory, so I could probably adjust my character's position in such a way that when it does leave my inventory, it glitches perfectly on the surface that I want it to. But that's too much work for me personally, so I gave up on it. Anyways, after I was done messing around, I just filled up my shelves with items and junk just to make the place look full and lived in. It's definitely a pain to place all these items individually and having to do junk runs just to find stuff to put on the shelves in the first place. But it's part of the vanilla experience if you don't mind it. People also tend to forget the faction exclusive items like the technical documents from the Brotherhood of Steel or the Mila device from the Railroad. I put one of these in the garage just because I thought it fit well with the stuff around it. It was my first time using one of these to decorate, and it's surprisingly large. There's also a surprising amount of miscellaneous objects, weapon, ammo boxes, and crafting materials that can add a little uniqueness to these vanilla builds. This is actually an old build of mine, and just my attempt at trying things outside the box. Other than using the concrete column glitch to set up a few things, like the general goods store, there wasn't any elaborate or fancy glitches. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.